Hi everyone, this is Elise Gillespie, one of the tutors for EDN 113. I'm going to be discussing with you today the benefits of technology integration to support learning of students with learning difficulties and disabilities in an inclusive environment. So in every classroom you'll come across many challenges, from ensuring you cover all curriculum expectations to trying to track down that elusive coffee mug that someone may or may not have borrowed. Although one of the most prevalent challenges will be in creating an inclusive environment to cater for your students' different needs. Those needs being social, emotional, physical and cognitive needs. This includes their individual learning styles and any difficulties or disabilities they may face. Careful planning is important to cater for your diverse classroom. For students who face learning difficulties or disabilities, the integration of technology will ensure that they're given the same learning opportunities as their peers. As you progress in your degrees, you will learn more about the concept of an inclusive environment, but for the purpose of this discussion, an inclusive classroom refers to having differentiated instruction, supportive teaching strategies, reduced stigma, effective use of resources, and having high expectations for everybody. Learning difficulty. So students with learning difficulties underachieve academically for a wide range of reasons, including factors such as the ones I've listed here. So sensory impairment, severe behavioural, psychological or emotional issues, having English as a second language, high absenteeism, ineffective instruction or inadequate curricula. These students have the potential to achieve it at age-appropriate levels once they're provided with programs that incorporate appropriate support and instruction. So that's that differentiation we refer to. Disability. Students with learning disabilities have difficulties in specific areas of academic achievement as a result of impairment in one or more of their cognitive processes related to learning. So one of the defining features of a specific learning disability is that the difficulty continues to exist despite appropriate instruction and intervention. Something that's important to note here is that a learning disability has nothing to do with the student's intelligence. They might be gifted in one area and still have a learning disability or difficulty. Some examples you can see that I've made a few points of there. So auditory processing, dyscalculia, so that one is to do with maths. Dysgraphia is to do with writing. Dyspraxia is difficulty with fine motor skills and problems with hand-eye coordination. Having a sensory processing disorder or as a visual processing disorder, so difficulty interpreting visual information. One that I've not included, dyslexia, is difficulty with reading. So all these are all sorts of things that you're going to come across within your classroom. The importance of technology. I believe this first point, to engage students in content, to be one of the most important benefits to technology for students with learning difficulties or disabilities. It's almost impossible to escape technology use in our society. For example, I feel like my phone is another extension of me. I use it every day to check emails, messages, capture memories, make notes, even search for a recipe for ingredients for what I need to make for dinner. I think I'd really struggle to make it through even a day without it. Even if we try and fight it, technology is not going anywhere and it's only advancing, and our children don't know a life without it. It really excites them, it's engaging for them. So students with special needs are no different, and if anything, them embracing the use of technology makes them feel important and special. As an example, had a student who had dysgraphia, with dysgraphia being a basic writing disorder where students find it physically difficult to form words and letters, and they struggle to organise their thoughts on paper, so neatness and consistency of writing and so forth. For this particular student, whilst the written word is important, I think a student's self-confidence is probably more so important, and for this student he was really lacking that. So this student was able to use his iPad or laptop to type without worrying about his spelling or using all of his concentration on physically forming letters and words. There are a number of free iPad apps that we used. A couple of examples: Paperport Notes and SnapType. both developed by occupational therapists. The way these apps work, so a child takes a photo of their worksheet, they tap on the screen when they want to add text and type in their answers. If the worksheet is a multiple choice or a fill in the blank, they can use their finger to write in words or circle the answer. When they're finished, print out the photo of the worksheet and voila, done. It's interesting to note actually that Agatha Christie, Albert Einstein and Thomas Edison all suffered with dysgraphia. So the next point, reinforce necessary skills. As I mentioned before, there's no escaping the technology age. Our students cannot get left behind, and those who have additional learning challenges need to work even harder to overcome or work with their challenges. So we need to assist by reinforcing those important skills. So adaptable to students' needs, and it's important for evaluation and assessment. Couple of pictures here. This one, one of my students who actually has autism, he came up with an idea to create an Easter egg hunt for our buddy class. So my Year 6s are here with their Year 2 buddies, and they've all got their iPads. The Year 6s have their iPads with a set of instructions and a little map that they've designed for the Year 2 buddies to use and go around and try and find the little clues so that they get their special little Easter treats at the end. So it can be integrated in whatever way you need. Another project that we embarked on, we had a Picasso cow project where we had a giant fiberglass cow delivered to the classroom, and there was a whole bunch of activities that were to do with that cow. The final product was for us to paint the cow or to design something spectacular on it, and there was lots of online activities for us to do, from creating websites, videos to go with it, logging our process and what we did to get to our final product, and creating YouTube channels and so forth. So there was a lot involved here that all students, regardless of who they were or any difficulties they faced, were able to enjoy. So here, again, students who have learning difficulties or disabilities really don't need to be made feel any different. Within this little classroom here, there are several students who have disabilities or differences, but everyone's doing the same thing, and in this instance, taking a simple picture of the board to get some homework from that they can refer back to, or get some answers off the board that they can go back and have a look at their notes and whatever. So that's what they're doing in this picture here. Most of them, except for one who's facing the wrong way. Finally, students who have got learning difficulties or disabilities, and quite often actually any student in the classroom, the noise is really hard for them to deal with. So I'm more than happy, or it works very well, allowing students to put in their headphones, plug into their device and listen to some music that's appropriate for them to continue on with their work, just to block out that noise. So that's what this student's done here. Some examples of some technology that is beneficial for all students, but in particular those who have got learning difficulties and disabilities. Interactive whiteboards. So they're a visual cue, helps with kinesthetic learning, inattentiveness. There's always something going up on the board, so they don't have a lot of opportunity to have eyes wander. The use of expressive language, and of course abstract reasoning as well. Students in my tutorials at university use Class Dojo as a way to record their attendance at the beginning of each tutorial. In a primary school environment, it's a fun way to engage all students really. So they can walk in, tap the board, say that they're here, and throughout the day it's a really wonderful tool to use for classroom management and behaviour in particular. So people can actually see, oh look, I've just been awarded whatever for doing some fantastic listening, or whatever it is that they've done well. So it's an instant rewards program that you can use on that program too. It's also a really good tool to communicate with parents and make students accountable essentially for their behaviour. I'll show you in another video a bit about Class Dojo so we don't run out of time. iPads are important. I won't go into iPads because a lot of people seem to know already, but assistive technology is quite important for students who have learning difficulties and disabilities. So you can see here the different types